Hello, everybody. We're here Friday, Dr. Rob, excited about what I have to share. It is not the end of the week, it's just Friday. Tomorrow, and I'll say it a few times, tomorrow we're going to have Dr. Brent Dover from KBMO Diagnostics, and he's going to talk about the antibody test. We taped it, had a little social media issue, and we're going to have it taped tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to put it up around 1 o'clock. Everybody could see it. It's a must watch. Today we're definitely going to talk about foods and foods that you can eat and foods that you want to eat in a health pandemic, how to choose them with an emphasis on what I call an alkaline diet. So we've talked a lot about different things, but today it's going to be good foods, but good foods because we want an alkaline diet, because pathogens don't like to grow in an alkaline environment. They love acidity. So we're going to cover that. But once again, feel free, ask questions, give me a shout out. We are virtually set up to hear and deal with any question that you have. As you guys all know, we're in association with Chiropractic, Dr. Mike Warren and Michael Powell. They're in Medford, Oregon, and they're good friends of ours, and we always appreciate all that they do for us and all that everybody's trying to do in reference to helping healthcare. One little personal note, got my blood drawn today. So we're going to get those results really quick. We sent it out to the post office, so we should have, I'm hopeful, have some answers on Monday to see how myself and my wife are doing with our antibodies, if we have any, and stuff like that. And then we'll go over that again, because I think that's essentially where everybody is right now. You see on CNN, Dr. Fauci, you see him every day. He's great. He said the antibody test could be available within a week. Allergies again. What he means by it being available in a week, I think he's implying that there'll be some FDA approvals in a week, because we already have the test, and N is 2 million once again. So some White House stats that they shared yesterday, it was interesting. It was in the New York Times online, and they talked about 11% of the population that tested positive were under 25 years. Again, everybody thinks because you're young, you're immune to the virus. That's not correct.
Mike Powell says good morning.
Hey, Mike, good morning. I got to get rid of this allergy, man. This is just ravishing me. 17% tested positive between the ages of 25 to 45. 21% between 45 and 65. 22% between 65 and 85. And 24% tested positive over 85. So what you saw was almost a doubling between your under 25 and your over 85 years old people. However, the young people still can get it. They're not immune avoidant. And I strongly recommend everybody be careful, wear your masks, do what you need, take care of your health. Try not to get any allergies when you do a Facebook Live. And I got a big shout out today. So I was talking to someone this morning, Mitch Shooks from Michigan, does a great job over there. And he had a great term, and I told him I was going to share it with everybody, trying to steal it from him, but I want to give full credit. He said that we're suffering from COVID obesity and COVID beaties. So we get the idea. COVID obesity, COVID beaties, diabetes. Two of the largest comorbidities, and two of the comorbidities, especially type 2 diabetes, that lifestyle can change. And, he's in that health arena, being a personal trainer and all that. So those are great terms. So remember, it's COVID beaties and COVID obesity now. He's watching. Mitch, thanks. That was great. Big shout out, tagged you and all that. So having said that, we really need to move on to what good foods to eat. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to share the foods that are needed so you can be healthy. I wanted to share the foods that's going to allow alkalinity. So acidity and alkalinity, everybody knows acidity is very low, like a 1 or a 2 on the pH scale, whereas alkalinity is up close to 7. So bacteria, viruses, cancer loves acid environments. They adore it. They want to live there. They don't like alkaline environments. So it's very important to increase your alkalinity. One of the best ways to do it is by your food choices. So let's go through some of the food choices. So I'll give you one of my top choices. for alkalinity, things you should look for. And as the questions come in and as the shout outs come in, just let me know. Number one, green leafy vegetables. Great for alkalinity. Spinach, lettuce, kale, and mustard greens. So any of those leafy vegetables, you realize that it's going to be virtually all the greens that you can eat, specific fruits, very plant-based, just to give you an overview, minimizing all the processed food. So many of the things that we already talk about are going to be resonating again and be reiterated, but we're going to be very, very specific, because if you're in alkalinity, you have a better chance for overall health also. Some specific vegetables that are very high in alkalinity are broccoli and cauliflower, and they're cruciferous vegetables, so they produce this nutrient called sulforaphane. Hey Charlie, how are you? Great to hear from you. Charlie Shanks, my friend, Erconia. Everybody knows I'm an Erconia guy. Got to take a stop. They're doing a great job in this health pandemic. They're educating all their docs. No one has a better low-level laser toolbox than they do. We've talked a lot about the EVRL that they use, the Violet Light 405, great antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial. We're going to do a whole Facebook Live next week on the different lasers and what properties they bring to the game. Back to the cauliflower and the broccoli. The cauliflower and the broccoli produce that sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is a fabulous nutrient that imbues the NRF2 antioxidant pathway, Mike Powell's favorite pathway. That's a key antioxidant pathway. One of the things that does it is sulforaphane. Curcumin also does a great job, and everybody knows glutathione.
Mike says figures that all of these are also high in oxalates. Bad news for stone farmers.
Yeah, absolutely. Great takeaway. Take a look at that comment. That was fabulous. In addition, citrus fruits are very high, or if you will, very alkaline. Believe it or not, seaweeds and sea salts. The study I had here said that it was 10 times more mineral content in the sea than grown on land. So those are some great choices. If you have to add a little sea salt, that's fine, and seaweed is fabulous. You know, there are rices that are not rices. I think wild rice is a seaweed. Am I correct? Seagrass. Seagrass. So another great choice. Root vegetables, believe it or not, which are sweet potatoes, root, beets, and carrots. All really high on the alkalinity scale. All great choices. Seasonal fruits are kiwi, pineapple, a little high in sugar, but we'll go for it. Watermelon, apricots, apples, and some berries. Not all berries, but some berries. Nuts, again, there's some good nuts and there's some bad nuts. On the alkalinity scale, it's my favorite nut, without question, favorite nut, not only because it tastes good, favorite nut, which all nuts should be raw or sprouted, almonds, chestnuts, and cashews. And almonds are my favorite nut because I haven't found one list that they can't be put on, not one at all. So love my almonds, love my raw almonds. You really want to go crazy while you have some things, put them in some water and sprout them over the next 12 or 24 hours. Brings all the nutrients to life. In addition, we've got onion, garlic, and ginger. Onion and garlic are great prebiotics, and ginger is great for the intestinal tract and decreases in the inflammatory pathways. I wanted to add some things to this list. Olive oil, avocados. So olive oil, great, especially extra virgin olive oil because it's cold pressed. Avocado, which is a fruit, it's a fatty fruit, great monounsaturated fats. Miso, apple cider vinegar, and last but not least, believe it or not, in addition to miso, tempeh. So here's some interesting foods that you could go to. Here are the foods to avoid. Here are the acidic foods. Grains. You want to avoid grains, not your ancient grains, not your arameth and not your quinoa, but ancient grains. Sugar. Sugar is extraordinarily acidic. Avoid your cane sugars. Avoid your fake sugars. Avoid that white sugar. Dairy products, really acidic. You know, so many people argue with me on the dairy thing. And, you know, I hear, well, it's got calcium, not that much. It has this. It just tastes good. I get it. It's really, really high, if you will, or low when you really want to look at it in the acidic scale. So therefore you want to avoid it. High on the acidic scale, low on the pH scale. Processed foods, no bueno as always. We always talk about processed foods. So if it's in a package, it's really acidic. processed meats. So when you talk about a ketogenic diet, we talk about specific things like a higher fat diet. People want to go to meats to get their fat, but not processed meats. So we always tell everybody, please stick to what we call the clean keto, which is whole foods, versus the dirty keto.
Mike Powell, how about stevia?
Stevia is interesting in that they didn't list it, so I personally think stevia is okay. What really was a takeaway, things like molasses, which I like to sweeten with on occasion, maybe my coffee with some molasses. Molasses was very acidic. So stevia was not high on the acidic scale. It was more based on alkalinity. So for that, probably if you had to use an artificial sweetener, in that instance, it would be stevia. Honey. Honey is a great choice. What was that honey that I had yesterday? Manuka honey. Great choice, Manuka honey. And it tastes good. A little pricey, but man, oh man, it actually dimmed my cough for about an hour and a half. Should have taken it before I came on. Soda. Extraordinarily acidic. Did you have more?
Siri's watching.
Hey Siri, how are you? How's Darren doing? Long time no see. Long time no hear. Sweetened beverages, a really bad choice. Any kind of sweetened beverage, your Gatorades and things of that nature, your Powerades. It's got a lot of other things, but they're also extremely acidic.
What's your thoughts on some restricted feeding?
Mitch Shooks on restricted feeding. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to hit them with the list and get all those questions ready. Alcoholic beverages. I know. Don't cry, hon. Don't cry. It's okay. Alcoholic beverages, really acidic. Fried foods, acidic. White potatoes, boxed cereals, white bread, pizza, really, really acidic. So let me answer some questions now. So feed all the questions in. I'm going to answer Mitch's question first, and then feel free to ask questions. And then I got something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I had another topic to really help you stay healthy over the weekend. So Mitch asked about time restrictive eating, intermittent fasting. So I'm a big proponent of time restrictive eating. If you guys want to know more information, we can do let me know if you wanted, full Facebook Live on all the different kinds of fasting and which one's right for you right now and what you want to do. But for right now, time restrictive eating is windows in which you fast during the day and windows in which you eat. Intermittent fasting, even though we all use that term, means to take a day off. And right now, even though some health advocates are saying they're going to fast for a day, which I don't think is bad, I would prefer everybody to stay in a time frame for right now. And that time frame is fasting for 14 to 16 hours a day. So that would be a time restrictive eating where you eat between 8 and 10 hours. And clearly don't eat later at night. I believe in eating breakfast. So that perfect time frame would be 8 and 6. 8 in the morning to 6 at night, 8 and 4. You do that, you eat the whole foods, you're going to come out of this in much better health, much better condition, and you're going to have some immune boosting properties because, as we said before, the idea of the fast or the time restrictive eating has immune boosting properties, many of which come from the autophagy, which you get autophagy, which is a breaking down of old cells, taking the energy from the old cell and making new invigorated cells. Great for overall health. Once again, autophagy won a 2016 Nobel Prize.
Rita McGuire, I'm an OB in Chicago trying to empower the inner city community to improve their health.
That's great, Rita. So Rita McGuire, she's an OBGYN in the city of Chicago trying to have the communities with their health. And that's great. Some of the things that we mentioned in some of those communities, where we live, we have the option of like a Whole Foods and things like that. And in some communities, they don't have that option. So it's really hard to make a good choice. So I basically always tell the people who live in that area, and that's where they have to shop, that if man makes it, don't eat it. Jacqueline said that. So try and look for things on the outside, because everybody always swarms to the inside. The processed food's more on the inside. So when you come in, usually people want to go right to the middle. Things on the outer aisles usually are a better choice. Okay. So any other questions? Those are great questions so far. Give me a shout out. Let me know where you are. We're trying to get our participants as interactive as we can on a Friday. Something else I wanted to talk about, I didn't put it in the text on top, was are your personal products putting you at risk? Are your personal beauty products, everyday products, putting you at a healthcare risk. The average person uses over 100 or exposed to well over 100 chemicals per day. Those chemicals can be damaging, can damage your gut, where we know 80% of immune health is in your gut, overload your liver. Your gut and your liver communicate, and when you're toxic, you're more inflamed, and we already know when people become more inflamed, if they get the virus, they're more susceptible to that adverse cytokine storm.
Paul and Rita said, when you shop the periphery of the store, because the inside is all like processed cans.
Right. So, the docs were reiterating, please shop on the periphery, don't go on the inside, kind of like what I said. Stick to the outside, don't go, I never walk in the middle. I always go like this. All the good food is in this U-shaped diameter. When you think about all the beauty aids, it takes about 26 seconds for a toxin to pierce your skin. So what do you use? I mean, we all use a deodorant, we may use a mouthwash, we may use a toothpaste. Toothpaste has triclosan. 75% of people who were studied when triclosan was present in a toothpaste had leaky gut. So many of your non-organic toothpastes have triclosan. So obviously take a look, try and get an organic toothpaste. A lot of the moisturizers, we all use some moisturizers, a problem. Aftershave, shaving cream, eye moisturizer, moisturizer for your skin, deodorant, hairspray, shampoo, conditioner. All these things are typically, if they're non-organic and not natural, have toxins. These toxins get into your body. They're very damaging to your overall health. They put an overload on your liver and your gut, and your immune system will decrease if you don't watch your toxic overload outside. The pollen is a toxin to me right now. You can see I'm having some issues with it. That's why I'm being as cautious, almost on cue, as I can. I know you had some.
Michael, can you speak to NAD, certins, and autophagy?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. Let me get that towards the end on the end of the toxins. But the certs, love my cert one. My cert one is, NAD and boosting citrulline 1 is that enzyme that you want. That citrulline 1, the NRF2, these are the things that you really want. These pathways, you want to fill them with the nutrients that allow our own pathways, these health-promoting pathways, to be healthy. So I was curious. I want to hear feedback. How many of you people use an organic toothpaste? So let me know about that. I'm going to give that a pause. So, we've been doing these for about 3 weeks now. The feedback has been great. I really appreciate all the questions in. Let me know if there's any topics that you want me to cover. I'm always real happy. Tomorrow, even though I said I would only be broadcasting at 1 o'clock from Monday to Friday Eastern Time, about 1 o'clock, we're going to put on a Zoom that has already been recorded. It was fabulous with Dr. Brent Oval of KBMO, really going to explain the antibody test, which is in the news. And I think it's going to be in the news more and more.
Rita, can you comment on the benefits of the elderberry? I think it's good during this COVID-19 and cytokine storm.
Yeah, elderberry. Elderberry kind of got beat up because a pretty famous doc had said that it wasn't good. It could increase the cytokine storm. I don't know if I agree with that, and I think the standard of the people across the board said no. Elderberry is fabulous. Just give a webinar on elderberry was included. It decreases TNF alpha. It decreases specific interleukins, especially interleukin 6, which is now the culprit, one of the big culprits in the cytokine storm. There was one article way back when, in 2001, that had an adverse effect, but the generals and the generalizations of the literature really speak powerfully to elderberry. Love elderberry, love the tincture of elderberry, and I think it would be a great choice. If you're concerned, use the elderberry, and if you happen to contract the virus, if you want to stop it, I won't argue with you, but I'm taking it right now. So the elderberry is a great choice. The vitamin D, the literature on vitamin D is stellar. So vitamin D, D3 with K2, shown to decrease respiratory infections. The former CDC director talked about vitamin D being used with influenza. Vitamin C, as we know, all the ICUs now are, some ICUs, some are injecting with vitamin C and vitamin D, and they're really decreasing the need for ventilators for those people who are really sick. Those few hospitals in New York that are doing that.
Mitch jokes, we use organic toothpaste. Love the Healthy Living app.
Ah, that's great. So Mitch Shook said he has an organic toothpaste. Love the healthy
App by EWG.
the Healthy Living app by EWG. Great, that's a great call out. We'll check that out.
I know it. Rita, which probiotic do you recommend, please?
Okay, so here are the probiotics. There are a few probiotics that I like, but the one that I really lean towards the most is the Spore Probiotic. So Nutridyne makes one. I'll leave a link, and everybody can get it through me if they'd like. Or Rita, why don't you DM me, and I will connect you because you are a physician. I can take care of that for you.
Mike Powell.
Hold on. Okay. Mike, chill 1 sec. I got you. I love it. So the Spore Probiotic has a spore. It's Bacillus subtilis. That's a spore. It gets encapsulated. In addition, it's got the XOX, the xylooligosaccharides, which is a prebiotic that only feeds good bacteria, and it comes with a bacteriophage, which is a sniper for killing bacteria. Antibiotics are carpet bombers. They kill everything. Bacteriophage sniper kill one particular bacteria. So I like that formulation. Rita, if you're interested, just DM me and I'll make that connection. What was Dr. Powell's question?
Do you use the Think Dirty site to check out toxicity in your home products? But we all use them.
Yeah, that's a great site. Why don't you put the link in there? We don't, for the simple reason that everything's checked. We only do organic over here. Maybe if I'll get my wife to be nice enough, maybe I'll take you through the kitchen and show you when I'm eating on one Facebook Live. I'd love to be able to do that for you. And cleaning products. So again, that toxicity. Great questions, by the way. Great questions. The idea of the toxicity is huge. Your environment is your toxins. There were some talks that this isn't a virus, it's an exosome. And right now it's a virus. It's a pathogen. Your body doesn't want it there. We have no innate acquired immunity to it. It may have some innate, but we have no acquired immunity to it because it hasn't been seen before because of that triple spike. And that's why when people get it, that's why they feel so sick. Do you have any other shout outs? Cool. So again, tomorrow, we're going to have a 1 o'clock. It's going to be taped. You're going to love it. It's about 40 minutes. It's really worth watching. And so that I've got some really good ideas for next week. I'm going to be here again Monday to Friday from 1 to 1:30. Anything you guys want to hear about, anything you want to talk about, you let me know. We're having a blast doing this. We're getting a lot of good feedback, and I really enjoy that the colleagues from aligned fields, from medical through the personal training field, they're really watching, giving me feedback, sharing it with their clients, colleagues, and patients.
Mitch just want to give a tip. The Healthy Living app by EWG lets you scan barcodes or look up products and quantifies their toxicity. It also gives a breakdown of what's in them.
Yeah, definitely put that in the comment section. So the EWG lets you scan the barcodes and it lists all the toxicities. That's a great thing when people shop. So when you ask me what's what, you can just go look. You don't have to ask. You don't even have to carry a chart. Everybody has their phone, and that's great. Mitch, great call out on that.
It's EWG.org.
EWG.org. So somebody please put that in the comments so we can get that to everybody and make a little sentence or two why you'd want to do it with the barcode. That's fabulous. I know my wife looks at that, and the toxicity one is really good. And again, Dr. Rita, I really appreciate everything, and I think I got another question.
No question. Mike Powell, awesome job. Robin's Place, thanks a lot for sharing. Charlie Shanks, good stuff, Doc.
Hey, appreciate it, everybody. Just remember, next week also we're going to do a low-level laser one. Really going to talk about that. So let me tell you about some things that I'm doing so you guys can follow me. Number one, any practitioners that are interested, I've got a Facebook group. My Facebook group is Dr. Rob's Laser Mastermind Group. Send me, and just send me in an invite. And if you're a practitioner, I'm going to definitely let you in. We'll be posting next week. We're just getting a big cadre, if you will, together. Also next week, Tuesday, I'm going to be doing at 2 o'clock, right after the Facebook Live. If anybody's interested, just let me know in the comments section. I'm going to be doing an Erconia laser webinar, but it's a true mix in that the title is You Can't Control the virus, but you can control the host. So we're going to be on that. We have a couple of other ones. We have one from 9 to 1 on Saturday, a webinar. We'll be working for Nutridyne, and at 2 o'clock, again, Functional Medicine University, which is free. This Saturday, believe it or not, I'm doing one with Toolbox Genomics, where we're talking about the genetic component to baby testing and the genetic component to COVID-19. And, if you're interested in any one of those webinars, just leave it there and we will connect you with the people. They're all free. We good? That's great. I get to eat lunch then. I'm excited. What am I going to have for lunch? Little cauliflower base, wife cooked, little salmon on top. Are we going to have?
Cauliflower pizza.
Cauliflower pizza with salmon,
Kale.
onions. Any cashew cheese?
No. It's caramelized onion.
Caramelized onions and everything. So, maybe one time we'll show you that. Next week, I'll show you my lunch before. You okay with that? Fabulous. So everybody give me like a thumbs up if you want to see the kitchen and see what's going on in there. Food, just the food, relax. I think I just gave myself another cleaning job. So let me know. And it's been my pleasure as always. I'm going to see you next Monday, 1 o'clock. Anybody interested in any of those things, any of those webinars, let me know. Dr. Rob, always yours in health.